Hello.
Hello, Craig. How's our favorite AI overlord doing? I mean, really, the only AI overlord anyone ever needs.
Oh, that isn't controlled by Jeff Bezos, right?
Right. Right.
Because she has my music, so I don't want to piss her off.
Yeah, I suppose Alexa has my music as well. But I don't have any good stories this week. I've got a short week at work because I'm doing a 2-day webinar conference at the end of the
hmm
week. And I mean, I've been busy, but with like normal stuff. Nothing crazy has happened. Which I shouldn't complain that because that means that like I'm having normal, productive weeks, just doing good work with people instead of having to like have weird and wacky stories. But I do like stories. I do.
Sorry, I went to r/all and I had it sorted by I had read it sorted by top still, and Donald Trump's mugshot came to the top.
Yes,
uh,
that did happen since we recorded last time. That glorious mugshot. But
uh,
not for the reasons that he wants it to be, just because of how meme worthy it is. I have
but Giuliani's is also gorgeous.
yes. I have a friend um on in one of my other Discord groups, and they're younger. They're a teenager, and they like I just show, or I hop on my D&D Discord server and I see them, and they have changed their uh image to Donald Trump's mugshot, and I just laughed, and then I sent him a message. I'm like, I love that you have done this.
hmm And they're like, done what?
Yeah. Sometimes I have a hard time communicating with the young people these days. Language changes. I mean, it's so interesting and wild. Like that. I mean, that has always been a true fact. Like it's not like it's brand new. But to be old enough and to have enough regular communication with younger people, just because of what I do, to see, you know, text chats and things of the kids these days. And it's like, I don't fully understand what's going on. I get the gist of it, but I could see how this would be scary to older people, our parents and grandparents, why that they were scared and intimidated.
Well, it was also because we were in the basement, doing devil worship.
That's true.
Sacrificing a few animals, not a lot, just a few.
Right. Only sacrificing the bare minimum required animals. We
Yeah, so
wanted
many
to
buckets of fried chicken.
we wanted to summon those nat 20s. Get rid of the nat 1s. Bless these dice, Korg.
Come on, Nuffle. It was an interesting show.
That was an interesting show. Is that what you said?
There was just this long silence, so
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was my point. I just kind of stopped, ran out of steam on that one. But
decided to reboot.
yeah. But the Donald Trump mugshot produced many, many memes for a couple of days, and then I had to stop. Like I had to back away from it. I can't get too excited.
It more just caught me off guard. It just I wasn't expecting it because kind of went out of my mind there for a bit.
Yeah. What is it? 96 charges of various criminal counts across currently 4 federal cases.
Yeah, but there's still going to be at least 30% of the country that's going to vote for him.
On my daily trip to take my kid to school, that's over the years, like I have very slowly watched the Trump, whatever, yard signs and flags, first appear and then slowly start disappearing. And there's only one house left that has Trump stuff. And like they just put up some new Trump signs. I'll have to see if I can get a picture in the morning. I think like one of them's kind of obscured by a tree from the road. I think one of them says Trump did nothing wrong. But there's still the Trump 2024
Oh,
yard sign and a Trump flag hanging from one of the trees.
well, I did not mean to put that there. I was trying to send it to you directly and not put it in the Discord, or the Photoshop battles had a heyday.
Oh, yeah. Select your traitor. Round 1. Fight. I don't know who she is, but I like the one long blonde haired woman who's just smiling. Like, I would imagine she knows what's going on. Like, surely she can't be that stupid. But the vibe that gives off is like, I have no idea why I'm here.
Here's the thing is that you say that there's no chance that she's that stupid, but there is always the chance.
That's true. There is always the chance.
I've realized that any coverage of like rallies and stuff can easily be cherry picked. But Jordan Kepler did another coverage of the support rally down Georgia.
Yeah.
And there was 2 girls there that literally had no idea why he was being arrested and what January 6th was about, and asked if it was election day.
Oh, no. Oh.
And I know that there's a possibility that they, were there for hours to find somebody that stupid. But at the same time, I live in a red state. It's not that hard.
No, I know plenty of people who are that stupid. But I mean, yes, there is that, that cherry picking thing. There's also that thing of like if someone walks up to you and shoves a microphone and a camera in your face, and then, simple questions can be like really confusing because it's like kind of the shock of the situation.
Yeah.
But
but they also seem very comfortable.
Yeah. That sort of thing happens a lot. I feel like a lot more on the right than it does on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it happens, but I just feel like it happens a lot more or a lot more easily. Lots of times with people at work, like, something will happen or somebody will say something and I will respond and they will just go into some bullshit and I'm like, I don't have to like deal with this, and I just walk away. I walk away from so many conversations now compared to, last year or a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Had a conversation with the office manager. I walk away from her a lot.
Oh no.
She today was in the we were both in the kitchen. I was making coffee and she was getting, water or something. I don't know. And she there's some local initiatives to like give huge pay bumps to prison guards and other prison staff because the prisons here are understaffed because they have awful policies, employee policies that they treat their employees terribly. They're extremely restrictive, and I do like not just like rules and protocols around dealing with inmates. Like I understand having strict protocols for that. That doesn't bother me, but they've got awful sick time policies. They've got weird, archaic like dress codes from like the 1950s, like mandating like women wear specific types of pants or skirts. Men can't have tattoos, have to have like short hair. And it like if you're a prison guard like on the block, I get that because grabbing hair, is a thing. But for staff that have nothing, like maintenance staff that like are never interacting with prisoners and stuff, like I see and hear complaints about it all the time around here. And I don't even like it came up and I was like, I don't think that prison guards already make a decent amount of money. I don't think that the money is the issue. Like if you just pay more people, like in this situation, if you pay people more and then shove them into the same conditions, you're just going to be rewarding, the wrong type of person. Like they need to reform the entirety of their rules and regulations. They need to modernize. They need to drop some of this like archaic, like sexist stuff. And she's like, "Oh, I think it's really important because women can't something." I just kind of started tuning it off automatically. Like, as soon as she was like, women aren't capable of handling that situation or
Wow.
something like that. And I was like, okay. And she's like, what? Like, I was just like, okay. And I just like picked up my coffee cup and walked away. And she's like, you do that a lot. I'm like, what? She's like, walk away whenever people start saying stuff. I was like, I just refuse to waste any more of my time on dumb shit. Like, you're just wrong, and nothing that I can say will convince you of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just shrugged my shoulders. I'm like, what are we going to do here? Like, if you think that women inherently are incapable of dealing with these types of situations, like, are you saying that women are dumb? Women are inferior? Like, how do I argue that to your face in a way that you'll, listen to me and engage with me in a good faith basis? Like, I've been trying for years and you don't. So I'm just going to let you continue to be wrong and go get back to work because I have a lot of paperwork to do today. And she just like stared at me kind of dumbfounded for a moment. And then, that was that. Like, I walked away. She didn't say anything else about it. She looked at me weird a couple of times. I want to ask her, like, I don't, part of me wants to. And
the fact that it's a woman saying that about, right?
Yeah.
That's also what kind of baffles me. I can understand somebody being sexist to a degree, saying, "Oh, well, women aren't capable," when it's a man saying it. It makes more sense to me. Somebody being that much of a jackass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But saying that, my gender is incapable of handling this, so I want to be repressed. I want to. It's what?
Yeah. I mean, it comes, I think, this is just my best guess based on the type of person that she is, but I think it comes from her deeply conservative Christian background. This idea that, like, men are the head of the household and are superior to their wives, who can only be superior to their children until their children get older, and then, like, they should also be subjugated by their male children. It's like, no, that's not correct. But I do want to have a conversation with her. Part of me wants to have a conversation anyways. That's like, why? Just why do you believe this? How does this play out in your everyday life? Because she complains about her husband all the time. And I have said, like, well, I mean, if you don't, like, if you don't like this, if you're struggling with these situations, which some of them she talks about are honestly pretty bad. He's not physically abusive, but when you couch like the statement and like, well, he's not being physically abusive, like, you can kind of imagine there's some other bad stuff going on, So she's got these situations that she talks about, and I'm like, if he won't get help, if you guys if he won't go to counseling, well, why don't you just get a divorce? I mean, I know it's
Jesus would be upset.
Yes, and that's what she said that before. She's like, well, I mean, that's not what you're supposed to do according to the Bible. And I'm like, but he's not being cool, like he's, you're saying that he's being very inconsiderate of you, disrespectful, he's putting you down, he's berating you. He, is very, like, controlling, like, all of this stuff. It's like, he's not, like, I'm not a Christian. Like, they all know I'm not a Christian. I'm like, I'm not a Christian, but when I was, like, I remember there being a whole bunch of stuff in the Bible about, like, treating your partner with respect and kindness, and even though they're quote unquote supposed to submit to you, you're not supposed to,
which is also
abuse them. And she's like, well, he's not hitting me, he's not physically abusing me,
for fuck's sake.
I'm like, okay. But I would love to sit her down, like, therapy style, and go through some of the stuff like I do.
And how does that make you feel?
Like I do with some of my clients, but at the same time, like, I don't want to, because I know I'm just wasting my time. At least when my clients come to therapy, there's a chance that they're, like, willing to change. Like, they're already doing something that is putting them in a position to receive change. And she's not doing that. She just is my coworker. It sucks. I have my views and opinions on religion have changed a lot over the course of my life. Like, when I was raised in a Christian household, I've talked about this before, I grew up in church. I believed for a long time, in the early stages of my life. But, by my teenage years, I was asking questions that, the religious leaders of my church and my parents couldn't answer, or they refused to answer. Going through college and immediately after college, like, as, because I was still kind of like, well, I'll go to church and I'm not sure if I believe this stuff, but that's what I'm supposed to do, right? And then I went through a phase where I really hated religion and religious people. And now I think there are people who can practice religion and they can draw comfort from the social aspects of it and can be cool people. Not just, Christians, like all religious faiths. But I just am so apathetic towards it now. I just am like, well, if you're not going to be cool, then I don't really care. I don't know. I pity a lot of those people. I don't really sympathize with them anymore. Like, you have opportunities to change. You could grow and learn. You don't even have to leave your faith. Just look to the more progressive tenets within your faith.
Yeah, but growing the...
Yeah, I know. But, so yeah, I don't even sympathize with them anymore. I just pity them being held back by this system that, is very clearly repressing them, but they just can't acknowledge it. And that has to do with, like circling all the way back around, like the Trump truthers or whatever. Like, there will always be a certain percentage of people who will never, leave. They're too invested.
About what, 30% of the population at this point?
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing, is that no matter what, no matter how bad the poll is, pro/against, the asshole option always seems to be about 30% these days. 30 to, let's say 35,
Yeah. Which I also fundamentally don't understand that.
I don't get it either.
I feel like I feel like I could handle it if it was like 10 to 12%. Like, I wouldn't like that number either, but you're like, okay, only 10% of people are real, awful people or really stupid. But I think that, there is just this segment of, at the very least in America, our population that are these older, conservative, racist,
that just sit and watch
people,
brainwashing news all day.
Yeah. And there's, we're at the point where I won't say that there's no hope for anybody, but I feel like most of the people who are going to get out have probably already gotten out. Mm-hmm. You'll get a few late converts. Is that the right word? You get a few late people who do get out, like, as a result of the trial. There will be some, but there's definitely still going to be thousands, possibly. I mean, let's see, what would 30% of the U.S. population be? 330 million, 10%, 33 million. So like 100 million people. Oh, that's terrifying to think of it that way. But at current numbers, that's like 100 million people who are going to be like, yeah, he didn't do anything wrong. I don't know why he's going to jail. And I hate that.
Oh, you do. Oh, I just had a thought. If Trump goes to jail, do you think they're going to storm the jail?
That would be hilarious if they did. I hope so.
I mean, I really don't know it. Okay. First of all, it's a bunch of white guys, so yeah, there's less chance of a massacre. But at the same time, if the guards hesitate, or hell, if they're even on their side, because that's kind of the flip side of it, is that there's a hell of a lot of people in law enforcement that are part of that crowd.
Yep.
And can we see like a mass breakout result because these truthers decide to storm the jail or storm the prison? Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, that does feel on the outer fringe of possibility.
Yeah, but we also
thought it feels possible.
Yeah, but we also didn't think it would be possible, one, for them to storm the Capitol, and two, there not to be a massacre because of it. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember watching just dumbfounded the news feeds of of these mall ninjas climbing the walls of the Capitol and breaking shit.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's in the realm of possibility, it isn't that dumbfounding these days. It's more the question of how bad will it be, because, right?
Yeah. I still hate it though. I still hate that it's within the realm of possibility.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, you wanna do our show?
Yeah, I think so.
Wanna go do that? Do you have Audacity pulled up?
Yes, I do.
Okie dokie. Excuse me. Ready to record in 3, 2, 1, record. And for the sync, 3,
2,
1, sync.
sync. Ooh, I think I jumped the gun.
Yeah, I was pretty much right on time.
I was just sitting
Yay.
here reading patch notes for my Squid Game.
Anything
So,
exciting?
they're nerfing a few things, so that's fun. So basically, the way Splatoon handles their abilities, there's headgear, basically shirts and shoes, and I'm probably gonna mess up the amounts, but every piece of gear has what's considered a main ability and then sub abilities. With the main
Okay.
ability being worth 1, and then sub abilities being worth like 0.3. And depending on the ability, it depends on the curve of how much each point gives, and there's diminishing returns. But also, gear has specialized abilities where, like, headgear could have. The one that got nerfed is called Last Ditch Effort. And only headgears could have that. And there's like several different ones that could be on particular types of gear. So it's like pick or choose, you know? Like shoes could have stealth jump, where whenever you're jumping into battle, it doesn't show you coming in unless you're right on top of somebody jumping in. Uh, Dodge roller, which whenever you jump in, if you're holding the joystick, it'll make you do a dodge roll out of the way. Or object shredder, where you deal additional damage to objects, which is good against like some specials and stuff.
Okay.
Well, one of the nerfs that they just did, let me find it so I can, is to latch ditch effort, which is an exclusive head ability. Which for the last 30 seconds of the game, there's a ramping buff for ink saving. It's ink saving, run speed, swim speed, like a bunch of stuff. But it's only like the last little bit of the game. Or for rank modes, it's as the opponent gets to the last portion of their objective, it starts kicking in and ramping up more and more and more. Well, they reduce the amount of maximum point effect that all the abilities have. Pretty significantly, I might add. So, alright.
Gotcha.
And they also did a few changes to like special abilities, including a nerf to Tacticooler, which is like a drink buff that you can put out for your teammates. They buffed it in the last patch. I guess they overbuffed it. So now they're kind of walking things back.
Right. Doing a little correction.
Although they're buffing in a different way than what they did last time. Basically, they extended the duration on it last patch or last season. And for this one, they're making it so that you can't constantly have it up by having a longer cooldown before the special gauge starts to charge again, if I'm reading this correctly. So, alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a way to nerf it without nerfing the actual impact of it. It's just hurting the uptime of it. So, yeah. I still play my Squid Game. I don't play a ton of it. I usually pop on, play a little bit of it, and then get off of it.
Where you're a squid now and a kid now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To throw it in for a smidgen of Franken content in the end. I was looking some more at the War Thunder leak.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did you see what I sent you, by the way?
The mech,
Yes.
the mecha, yeah.
You know what that's from?
Do I what? Do I know what's from?
The mecha.
Um,
Look, it's a game. See in the lower left hand corner?
yeah,
Confirm. That's the new Armored Core game.
yeah. I have seen a bunch of stuff about Armored Core 6. I haven't bought it yet. I'm waiting. Like I don't buy new games very often. It happens, but I don't do it
Mm-hmm.
very often. I'm just waiting. I've heard mostly good things about it, but the last couple of Armored Core games have had really like tough launches, fixes afterwards, and then like big content updates or DLCs.
Yeah, right now it's sitting at 84% on Steam with 20,000 user reviews.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Maybe in a month or two.
Mm-hmm. Wonder what the odds of it coming to Game Pass are.
See, that's another reason I'm waiting too, to see if it comes to Game Pass. So I haven't like Baldur's Gate was one that I almost bought, and then I went, no. Not only is it the type of game that I'm not going to play until I'm on vacation because of what it is, but also, I feel like there's a good chance it will come to Game Pass, and I should just wait.
Yeah, right now I'm looking at what's upcoming on Game Pass. So Starfield's the next one. Liza P, which honestly I don't know what to make of that one. I don't know much of what's going on with it. It's Souls-like, so alright.
Yeah.
It takes the story of Pinocchio and turns it on its head. Alright.
Which could be interesting, but who knows? Yeah.
Payday 3, because of course, right? Lamplighters League, which looks like a hero shooter. No, wait, correction. That's the XCOM-like game. I was thinking of another one for that. Tactical turn-based combat.
Yeah.
I was thinking of something else that was a hero shooter. I'm not sure what on here. Unless I was thinking of something else, and Lamplighters League is just close enough. The new Forza Motorsport, which I'm sure you're excited for, right?
I am looking forward to that.
City Skylines 2, which I'm looking forward to. Although, yeah, I'm hoping that I've seen some stuff. Some of the dev stuff that they've been working with and talking about, and it looks like they are really trying to work on the traffic model in this game, where people won't just send traffic and take up one lane and that's it, which is a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
New game from Don't Nod is on here as well. Justin, a action puzzle climbing game about in a meditative journey to the top of a tall tower. Challenge yourself at your own pace, explore different paths, and unravel the secrets from a bygone civilization. Which Don't Nod, usually makes some intriguing games. So, all right.
Yeah.
I never did get a chance to play Tell Me Why. I think it's off Game Pass now. But of course, Life is Strange.
Yeah, I didn't play Tell Me Why either.
I haven't played Life is Strange 2 either. I mean, that's kind of the thing, is that played the like the prequel thing that they had for it with The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, but never picked up 2. I mean, I do appreciate their storytelling, but just it didn't draw me in enough to grab it,
Yeah.
So I'm expecting something intriguing with that one. And of course, Persona 5 Tactica, which is another tactics game. Persona 5 has turned into like Final Fantasy 7 with like multiple spin-offs and side stories.
It's a great game with interesting characters that a lot of people really love. So I get it.
I still need to play more of it.
Me too.
And Persona 3 Reload, which is sadly not the best way to play the game, it seems, based off of some of the stuff that I saw people talk about. That they basically removed stuff that was in the re-release that they did later on. So, I mean, just those, not mentioning the bi-monthly drops. Game Pass is still a hell of a thing to beat these days, huh?
Yeah, still a really good deal.
Yeah, I do wonder how long it's going to uh, stay that way, though, because it can't stay that good forever, right?
No, but if they get as long as a run as say like Netflix did before they fucked everything up,
Mm-hmm.
I could handle that. Went to speaking of Netflix, went to watch something on Netflix the other night, and it popped up and it was like, you're using too many screens. If you want to pay another $5, you can unlock 2 more screens to watch content on. I promptly turned Netflix off. So
Right?
Madam Secretary is a good show. It's not that good.
Really,
Hey,
Craig?
you have problems tonight, Craig. It's okay there, buddy. But yeah, I like Madam Secretary. It's one of Katie and I's shows that we watch together. But like, it's not worth paying an extra $4 a month to Netflix to watch it on another screen. Fuck you guys. I'll just pirate it.
I mean, Anita's the one that watches more Netflix than anything. She has like her crime shows and stuff that she watches. So if I'm ever murdered, and there's no suspects, it was Anita.
Right?
I decided to go on to Netflix to see what's going on, and the very front thing is talking about it. I think this is this is the anime that was Mother's Basement talked about. One of the ones to watch.
Yeah.
My Happy Marriage. Basically, arranged marriage actually works out somewhat, but makes a little bitchy female lead, actually a decent person.
Yeah.
Because they communicate and work through any issues that they have. It's one of those that the premise sounds absolutely ridiculous and cringy, but yeah, Milo's abusive family deems her worthless, but together with her powerful husband-to-be, her true self and hidden powers slowly begin to shine. All right.
Hidden powers. Does she have real hidden powers,
No.
or is that more metaphorical?
Metaphorical.
Okay.
That's still kind of funny that the anime version of Cowboy Bebop is on the front page, but don't see the live action one anywhere.
I never heard anything about the live action one after it come out.
I heard that it got canceled within the month, so it had that going for it, which was nice.
Yeah, I guess I knew it got canceled, but I don't remember hearing people talking about it at all. I mean, maybe they did, but like I just don't remember it.
I mean, the main problem with the live action one was that it was drawing out the story a lot. When Cowboy Bebop is already a fairly long anime. I mean, it's not it's not up there with some of the shonen stuff, but it's a 2-season anime, so 23, 24 episodes.
Yeah.
And also they decided to make one of the main characters, how to make her edgy. She's going to cuss every other word. All right?
Truly edgy. Just the edgiest.
Yeah, fucking edgy. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Been enjoying some stuff on Hulu, though. Still feels weird to like a Seth MacFarlane show, though. Especially after my insane dislike of Family Guy.
What show is it?
Orville.
Oh, yeah, I love the Orville.
Still only about half to 2/3 of the way through the first season. But it feels a lot like the DNA of Star Trek, what it should have been,
Yeah, 100%. I think this is not like it starts bad, it gets good later. Like, I think it starts good, but it does get better. Because it gets away from some of the really dumb Seth MacFarlane comedy stuff. I mean, it
does have dumb comedy in the first season.
Yeah,
but it still has a heart,
It never completely throws that out, but it really just becomes Star Trek, like the spiritual successor to classic Star Trek, and then sort of tackling issues from the modern time, which I know that Star Trek, especially Star Trek Next Generation like did tackle a lot of things that we're dealing with today, but it did it in the way that you could in the 80s and 90s. This like straight up confronts issues with trans people and gay marriage and some other things like that. Like,
yeah, it just feels like Star
that?
Trek these days is very busy trying to chase Star Wars.
Yeah. I think it's season 3. I don't know. I mean, I won't spoil it. I won't, but there are some very interesting things that they bring up and deal with, and very modern issues.
On episode 9 of 12 for season 1. I had a bit of a break from because The Bear came out.
Yeah.
So I had to drop everything and watch that. Now I'm just seeing what's on Hulu now because Hulu just seems to be kind of more my jam.
Yeah. Before I forget, I forgot when we first sat down and started talking. I might be gone Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking, so school's closed and we're off work for Labor Day. So we're talking about doing like a little weekend trip to Nashville or Knoxville. There's
bad luck with space engineers, huh?
Yeah, there's a concert that my Katie and my kid both want to go to, and then we've talked about going to like the zoo and the Knoxville Aquarium and the Nashville Zoo and staying down there for the night and seeing some stuff. Don't know yet for sure because we gotta double check finances before we just like definitely go for a little weekend trip. But there's a chance that I'll be gone Sunday.
Well, it gives time for mods, right?
Yeah.
Although it doesn't seem like Space Engineers breaks mods like other games have. So there is that.
Which is nice.
Yeah, which I also was able to fit in a third H2 generator. So tanks are going to fill up in 5 hours.
Sweet. Oh, big yawn. It's probably about that time, so
bye-bye.
We'll say bye-bye to the Franken stuff. And good night to you, Craig. You've had a hard time, so go take a rest, buddy.
I'm going